Hello, Tarot Tube. It's February 2025, and it's also Super Bowl weekend. So if I spontaneously start singing Fly, Eagles, Fly, you'll know why that happened. So I'm here today to talk about some little deck mod projects that I have going on, deck modification projects. Maybe do some trash talking, like Fork the Patriarchy and stuff like that. So, yeah. So first we're going to talk about the Pantone color of the year, which was on my thumbnail. So here is the Pantone color of the year. It's called Mocha Mousse. And it says, capturing a global mood of connection, comfort, and harmony. And let's just scroll up. So there's just this color swatch of that one thing. Yum. And we're going. There's a little... Right, so then we've got some, a palette that theoretically would go with this Mocha Mousse. And then we have, where did it go? I'll find it, stick with me. So here's the whole thing, right? Mocha Mousse, this is the thing. And I can't help wondering if Pantone is not delicately trolling the alt-right this year. Am I wrong? I mean, am I reading too much into this? Or I'm just seeing what I want to see? Because we do tend to see what we want to see. But I just feel like this global color of Mocha Mousse and belonging, yeah, I just, that's what I see anyhow. And I really do love these colors. This is my cozy thing. So I'm pretty happy with the colors that we've got this year, and I'll show you how this is playing out in my deck modifications. So this cornflower blue is a little more blue than I liked, and I use Copic markers, which are rather expensive. There are some store brand versions of it. But I was really into doing art projects with Copic, so I have them around, so it makes sense for me. So when I did my big culling in January and got rid of things that reinforced ideas about the patriarchy, about race, about gender, orientation, I had to give away a lot of decks. So then I got a couple decks. I have 3 decks I'm going to talk about that are sort of replacing some of the stuff that I had to get rid of. And this is one of them. It's the Tarot Landscapes. And there's nothing wrong with this deck, but it's replacing this one. This I find much easier to look at. And this one, I don't know. I thought I was going to love it, and then I didn't. It's really good art, but I just don't use it that much. So yeah, if you're interested in it, I think I'm going to let this go, although it did make my first cut because there's nothing wrong with it. But this one, I guess it's because it's got the animal characters in it. I find it easier to read, and I do like it quite a bit. Now, this is how I edged it. I edged it with this Copic, what's this one called? B14 Light Blue. And I'm very happy with the way it came out, although it did take 3 coats. I had to go over 3 times while I was watching Only Murders in the Building, which I have completely done. So anyway, I'm very happy with the way this came out. As you can see, this cardstock, it came bowed, and it continues to be bowed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I still love the way it looks, but the bowing makes it a little hard to shuffle. And I'm not keeping it in the tuck box anymore. I'm just putting it right in here like that. So that's one thing. That modification is completely done. Now the next deck that I'm working on, and this one is partially done, but not all the way, is this. It's the Minoan Tarot. Laura Perry, and she did the art as well as the text. And I got this one because in Minoan society, leaders could be male or female. And so her face cards, I'm not even going to call them court cards. I'm going to start calling them face cards anyway. With every different position in that, we've got a male and a female. So we have a priest and a priestess. We have a lord and a lady. We have a youth and a maid. Another priest and priestess, right? So this is how she did this, the face cards, and I like it very, very much. Totally works for me. Here is the back of this one. And I am not sure what colors I'm going to use, but it's a two-step process. So first I'm rounding the edges, and I'm rounding them with this corner cutter. This one I like because it's got small, medium, and large. So you can change how big your little corner is. And these cards are interesting. They see how they stick together. So I'm hoping that by doing these corners, I'm also going to make it so they don't stick together so much. So, oops, that one popped out. Do it again. See? So now I've got, because I don't like the Sharpies. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm not sure what color I'm going to use. I could go with the back. I could use a blue. Or I could decide to use something in that Mocha Mousse palette, the Pantone color of the year. So we'll see where I go with that. I don't know if I can make a poll on this video or not, but if I can, I'll make a poll so you could vote. Otherwise, just leave a comment. You know, what color would you use? Would you be looking to pick up some of these browns? Would you go with the blue? Would you do some combination? And speaking of combinations, so it is Black History Month. And here's my Hoodoo Tarot, this one. So I've got this out to show you how with this tarot, when I modified this one to make it my own, I did this crazy mix of gold tones and various different colors. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of work, but I like it. I like it because to me, this reflects a range of skin tones. And it makes it works for me. So this is a beautiful deck. I'm focusing on this deck this month because it is Black History Month. Well, it's one of the decks that I'm focusing on. And I'm using this as a little bit of inspiration for how I am going to modify this deck. So this is this is my third new deck that I got after my big purge, the Magical Nature Tarot. Love this cardstock. It's thin, but boy, oh boy, do I like it. So look at the colors that we have in here. I think that these colors, let's put them on my Mocha Mousse palette here. Let's see if I can get this kind of sorted out. Like, look at these colors. Don't they kind of go with this whole Mocha Mousse palette? Those are the complementary colors. I hope this is showing up okay on the video. I've never tried to record another device, I don't think. So I kind of feel like I could use any of these colors, and the back does pull in these purple colors. So I could go kind of with a violet like that, or I could just go straight with the Mocha Mousse kind of color. If I did the Mocha Mousse color, I have some choices here, so I try to use what I have, trying not to buy a lot this year. So I would have, that pale purple you don't get to play here. I could do any of these. It looks like chamois is probably the closest to that Mocha Mousse. So I think I might use that. I have one more. I think that one's too dark, right? I wish I could, whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen. Yeah, so I'll just put that over there. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to use, I had originally thought I might use my multiple colors. I might just pull out all these different skin tones. Because that reflects the fact that this deck has a lot of different race stuff happening in it, which I really, 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 really appreciate. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I haven't gotten there yet. Or I could, like I said, I could just go with a violet, right? And just bounce off the back and let these colors be what they are without like pounding myself over the head with this. Look at that. I love these things. They're so beautiful. Yeah. So those are my 3 deck mods. You've seen one that's completely done, the blue edge on the, where'd it go? The blue edge on the Tarot Landscapes. Doing corners and going to edge the sides of the Minoan Tarot. I'm leaning towards blue. I just think it might be more sort of flexible in terms of what's going on with the face of the cards. Or the other color I think that might work would be this a lighter color here. And with this one, I'm letting Mocha Mousse inspire me. So I'm either going to go with a violet, a complementary, or a Mocha Mousse color. Yep, that's it. If you have got any opinions about which way you would do it, obviously they're my decks. I'm going to do what makes sense to me. But if you have any opinions, feel free to pop them into the comments below. I'm also curious if you think Pantone is trolling the alt-right this year, because it sure feels that way to me. I hope things are going well with you. I know it's kind of a dumpster fire out there, but we can still find joy. I went out and had sushi last night with some friends, and it's just, you gotta grab the little things wherever you find them and hold on to them tight. Well, not too tight. You get my picture. Go out there, find joy, and fly, eagles fly. Bye-bye.